For context, I'm 32, and my husband Matt is 34. We've been married for 5 years, together for 8. We don't have kids yet, though we've been talking about it more lately. Our marriage isn't perfect, but whose is? We've had our ups and downs, mostly small stuff, like bickering over chores or him working late too often. He's a project manager at a construction firm, which means long hours, especially when a big job is wrapping up. I'm a graphic designer, mostly freelance, so my schedule's more flexible. We're not rich, but we're comfortable, living in a small house we bought 3 years ago in a quiet suburb outside Chicago. I've always thought we were solid. Matt's not the most romantic guy, but he's steady. He's the kind of person who remembers to change the furnace filter or brings me coffee when I'm pulling an all-nighter for a client. We laugh a lot, or at least we used to. Lately, things have felt off. Not bad, just distant. He's been stressed with work, and I've been wrapped up in a big project for a local nonprofit. We haven't had a real date night in months. I chalked it up to life, you know? But now I'm questioning everything. Last week, I went on a girls' trip with my 2 best friends, Sarah and Lena. We've known each other since college, and every year we try to do a weekend away. Just the 3 of us, no partners, no drama. This time, we booked an Airbnb in Traverse City, Michigan for 4 days. The plan was wine tasting, hiking, and catching up. Matt was totally supportive, even helped me pack. He said he'd use the time to catch up on work and maybe hang out with his buddy Dave to watch football. Everything seemed normal when I left. I kissed him goodbye on Thursday morning, told him I'd be back Sunday night, and he said, "Have fun, babe. Don't drink all the wine in Michigan." Classic Matt. The trip started great. The Airbnb was cute, the weather was crisp and sunny, and we were having a blast. Friday night, we got a little tipsy at a winery and started talking about our relationships. Sarah's engaged, and Lena's been single for a while, so naturally, they asked about me and Matt. I admitted things had been a bit stale, but I didn't think much of it. Sarah said maybe I should surprise him when I got back. Come home early, plan a cute date night, reignite the spark. The idea stuck with me. I missed him, and I started imagining how happy he'd be if I showed up a day early with takeout from his favorite Thai place and a bottle of wine. It felt like the perfect way to shake us out of our rut. By Saturday afternoon, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Lena had to leave early anyway because of a work emergency, and Sarah was cool with cutting the trip short. We decided to drive back that evening instead of Sunday. I didn't tell Matt. I wanted it to be a surprise. I pictured his face lighting up when I walked through the door, maybe us staying up late talking like we used to. I was so excited I could barely sit still during the 4-hour drive home. We got back to our suburb around 9 p.m. Sarah dropped me off at my house, and I grabbed my suitcase, practically skipping to the front door. The lights were on inside, which wasn't weird since Matt often stays up late working or watching TV. His car was in the driveway, and everything looked normal. I unlocked the door quietly, trying not to ruin the surprise, and stepped inside. The first thing I noticed was the smell. It wasn't bad, just different. Like perfume, but not mine. My stomach did a little flip, but I told myself it was nothing. Maybe he'd spilled something, or maybe I was imagining it. The living room was empty, but the TV was on, playing some random sports highlight reel on low volume. There were 2 empty beer bottles on the coffee table, which was a little odd because Matt usually cleans up after himself. I set my suitcase down and called out softly, "Matt, you home?" No answer. I figured he might be in the bathroom or upstairs, so I walked toward the kitchen to drop off the Thai food I'd picked up on the way. That's when I heard it. A laugh. Not Matt's laugh, but a woman's. It was coming from upstairs, faint but unmistakable. My heart stopped. I stood there, frozen, with the takeout bag in my hand, trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was the TV? But no, the TV was on sports, not some sitcom with a laugh track. I set the bag down on the counter, my hands shaking, and listened again. Another laugh, then Matt's voice, low and muffled, saying something I couldn't make out. I don't know how to explain what I felt in that moment. It was like my body knew something my brain wasn't ready to accept. I wanted to run upstairs and confront whatever was happening, but my legs felt like lead. I just stood there, staring at the staircase, my mind racing. Was this really happening? Was I overreacting? Maybe it was nothing. A neighbor, a coworker, some innocent explanation. But that perfume smell lingered in my nose, and deep down, I knew. I forced myself to move. I crept up the stairs, trying to be quiet, though I'm not sure why. Part of me didn't want to know the truth, but I couldn't stop myself. Our bedroom door was cracked open, and there was a soft light spilling out, probably from the bedside lamp. I could hear voices now, clearer. Matt's voice saying, "You're ridiculous," in that playful tone he used to use with me. Then her voice again, teasing, "Oh, come on, you love it." I pushed the door open just enough to see. And there they were. Matt was on the bed, shirtless, propped up on his elbows. A woman I'd never seen before was sitting cross-legged next to him, wearing one of his old t-shirts and nothing else. She had dark hair, maybe in her late 20s, and she was laughing, holding a glass of wine. There was an open bottle on the nightstand, along with a pizza box and some crumpled napkins. It was so casual, so intimate, like this was their routine, like I didn't exist. I don't know how long I stood there, maybe a second, maybe 10. My brain was screaming, but I couldn't move or speak. Then Matt saw me. His face went white, like he'd seen a ghost. He sat up so fast he almost knocked the wine bottle over. "Jess," he said, my name sounding wrong in his mouth. The woman turned, and her eyes widened. She didn't say anything, just pulled the t-shirt down to cover her thighs, like that made any difference. I don't remember exactly what I said. I think it was something like, "What the fuck, Matt?" My voice was shaking, and I felt like I was going to throw up. He started stammering, "It's not what it looks like," which is such a cliche I almost laughed. The woman grabbed her phone and started typing furiously, like she was texting someone to come save her. I just stood there, staring at them, waiting for something to make sense. Matt got up, pulling on a pair of sweatpants, and came toward me, saying, "Jess, let me explain." I backed away, holding up my hand. I didn't want him to touch me. I couldn't even look at him. I turned to the woman and said, "Who are you?" My voice sounded calmer than I felt, which was weird. She looked panicked, like she hadn't expected to be caught. I'm Emily," she said, barely audible. "I work with Matt." Work with Matt. That hit me like a punch. I'd met his coworkers before, at company picnics, holiday parties. I'd never seen her. Or maybe I had, and I just didn't remember. My mind was spinning, trying to piece it together. How long had this been going on? Was this the first time? Was she the reason he'd been distant? I don't know why, but I didn't scream or cry. I just felt numb. I told Emily to get out. She didn't argue. She grabbed a pair of jeans from the floor, mumbled something like, "I'm so sorry," and practically ran past me. Matt kept trying to talk, saying, Jess, please. It's not what you think. We were just hanging out. I didn't respond. I couldn't. I walked downstairs, grabbed my purse, and left. I heard him calling after me, but I didn't stop. I got in my car and drove to Sarah's place, which is about 20 minutes away. I don't even remember the drive. I just kept hearing that laugh, seeing her in his t-shirt, smelling that damn perfume. Sarah let me in, no questions asked. I broke down as soon as I sat on her couch. I told her everything, and she just listened, handing me tissues and pouring me a glass of water. She offered to let me stay as long as I needed, which I'm grateful for because I can't go back to that house right now. I haven't answered Matt's calls or texts. He sent me about 20 messages ranging from, "Please let me explain," to, "I'm so sorry, I fucked up," to, "It didn't mean anything." I haven't responded. I don't know what to say. It's been 2 days now, and I'm still at Sarah's. I've barely slept. Every time I close my eyes, I see them on our bed. Our bed, the one we picked out together at IKEA, laughing about how we'd finally made it as adults. I keep replaying the last few months, looking for signs. Was he texting her when he was working late? Was she at the company retreat he went to in July? Did he lie about hanging out with Dave? I don't know what's real anymore. I called in sick to work yesterday because I couldn't focus. My clients don't deserve half-assed designs, and I can't even look at my laptop without feeling like I'm going to cry. Sarah says I need to talk to Matt, get the full story, but I'm not ready. I'm scared of what he'll say. What if this has been going on for months? What if he loves her? What if I'm not enough? I hate that I'm even thinking that, but I can't help it. I looked up Emily on LinkedIn last night. I know, bad idea. She's 27, a junior architect at Matt's firm. Her profile picture is all professional, with a big smile and perfect hair. She looks normal. Not some evil seductress, just a regular person. That makes it worse somehow. If she was some obvious villain, maybe I could hate her and move on. But she's just a woman who was in my house, in my husband's clothes, laughing like she belonged there. I don't know what to do, Reddit. Part of me wants to hear Matt out, because 8 years is a long time to throw away. We've built a life together. Our house, our plans for kids, our dumb inside jokes. But how do you come back from this? How do I trust him again? And what if this wasn't the first time? I keep wondering if I'm overreacting, if maybe it really was just hanging out, like he said. But then I remember her in his t-shirt, and I feel sick all over again. I'm also mad at myself. Why didn't I see this coming? Were there signs I missed? I keep thinking about how excited I was to surprise him, how I thought this would fix everything. I feel so stupid. And I'm embarrassed too. I haven't told my parents or my brother yet. I don't want them to hate Matt, or maybe I'm just not ready to admit this is real. So Reddit, what do I do? Should I talk to Matt? Demand answers? Ask for couples therapy? Or is this a deal breaker? How do I even start to process this? I feel like my whole world just collapsed, and I don't know how to pick up the pieces. Any advice, stories, or even just kind words would mean a lot. I'm so lost right now. TLDR. Came home early from a girls' trip to surprise my husband and found him in our bed with a coworker. I'm staying at a friend's house, haven't talked to him yet, and don't know what to do. Help.